Hey guys, it's Melissa. Today I am going to be making some delicious bread from scratch. I've made this recipe several times and it has always turned out really good. I found it on Pinterest. I will link it in the description box below if you're interested in checking it out. But for now, let's get into this super easy, delicious bread. Here we go. All right, so we are going to start by mixing 3 cups of flour with 1 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of yeast, and 1.5 cups of warm water. So I am going to get my flour going here, and we're just gonna kind of shake off to level. So there's 1 cup, 2 cups, and 3 cups of flour. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, I had a giant container of dry active yeast. However, I haven't used it in a while, and when I took it out of my cupboard, it told me to refrigerate after opening. So unfortunately, I had to throw that away. So I am using one of these packets instead. Now these packets are slightly expired. I don't know if there's dangers in using expired yeast, but I guess we'll find out. So I just need half a teaspoon of yeast. So there we go. And since we didn't use the whole packet, let's just slip that in a Ziploc and put it in the fridge. Okay, and then we need 1.5 cups of warm water. Okay, and then we're just going to stir that until it's combined. All right, that is it for right now. All we have to do is cover it and leave it at room temperature for 8 to 24 hours, and it will get all bubbly, and then it will be ready to go in the oven. Our bread has been rising for just about 24 hours. I think it was just about this time yesterday that I started it. It has some nice bubbles in it. It's looking pretty darn good. I'm pretty sure that yeast was okay. Now I did some research. I didn't really find anywhere that said it was unhealthy or bad for you to eat yeast past its expiration date. The only thing that I was able to find was that the yeast may not be as potent. There's ways that you can check that, but I just went ahead and went for it, and it turned out pretty good. I think there are a lot of bubbles in there, and that is what the yeast's job was. The first thing that we want to do is turn this out onto a well-floured surface and let it rest for 30 minutes. All right, so I have my flour here, and I'm just gonna grab a little tablespoon. And there we go, that's probably plenty. I'm gonna spread that out. Well-floured surface, you guys. This dough is super sticky. And then we're going to turn our dough out onto that well-floured surface. Oh yeah. All right, now you want to form it into a ball. Now you don't have to knead this, just make sure that you get it into as much of a ball shape as possible. That's why you want well floured for sure. I think mine might be a little runny. Might have needed a touch more flour. So we're just gonna let that hang out and chill for 30 minutes. All right, while we're waiting for our bread to do its thing, we're going to preheat the oven to 450 degrees. We're also going to put our dish into the oven to heat up as well. Now this step is very important for this recipe. You want a very heavy-duty, safe at high temperature pot or pan with a lid. I have this good old Lodge enamel Dutch oven. It has a really nice fitting lid. And this is what I have used to make this bread recipe in several times, and it always turns out really great. So put the pot portion minus the lid into your oven and preheat to 450. All right, now that our bread has had a chance to flop around, cut an X about 1/4 inch deep across the top of your bread pile. And then we are going to carefully take out our very hot pan. Spray some non-stick cooking spray. With well-floured hands, we're going to pick up our bread baby and plop it in the pot. Okay, you're going to put the lid on and let that bake in the oven for 30 minutes. All right, so our bread is just about ready to come out of the oven. Remember, we put it in a 450-degree preheated oven for 30 minutes, and now we're going to take that lid off and bake for an additional 10 to 15. So without further ado, here's the timer. All right, let's go ahead and take off the lid and let it bake for another 10 to 15 minutes. Hey Siri, set the timer for 10 minutes. I love it. I don't know if you can hear it, but she said, roger that. T-minus 10 minutes and counting. Okay, there's the second timer. Let's grab our bread out of the oven and see how it's doing. All right, there's our beautiful loaf. It has a very crispy top and hopefully, oh, yep, it's gonna slide right out of there. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Came out good. Okay guys, that is our home baked bread. I think it turned out actually really good. I'm going to wait to see how it tastes when I go ahead and cut into it. I'll insert a little clip right here. It looks pretty good though. I mean, look at that bread. I'm really excited that I was able to share this recipe with you. Again, if you want to try it for yourself, the link is down in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give the video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of future videos. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this recipe and this video today. Are you going to try it? I hope so, because it is so good and so easy. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great one. Oh, come on. Just, okay. Ooh, maybe. Dodge. Has a very, pile. Not so much a bread baby as it is a bread pile. Oh, great. Struggle bus is real. Oh, I got your butt. Now get out of the kitchen. Come on.